What's up YouTube, it's your girl Tatiana Noel, and I'm back with another video. I know you guys have been looking at my channel and it seems like everything is about beauty and makeup and all that good stuff, and while I'm gonna have a ton of that on my channel, I definitely want to do something a little bit more impactful, something that's geared towards self-love, self-worth, self-valuation, and just not needing anybody to validate who you are and loving yourself wholly, okay? And part of that is doing what makes you happy. You know, a lot of us in life are just working a job because we were told to go to school and get a good job. Truly, that's not what makes a lot of us happy. So today I'm going to share 7 things with you guys that you need to know before you quit your corporate job. But not only that, the 7th thing that I have on this list for you guys, I didn't even think about it before I left my job. It just kind of happened to work out in that way for me, but I didn't think about it. But after I left, I was like, oh my gosh. A lot of people don't even, it's so simple, you guys. It's so simple. A lot of people don't even think to do this, but I'm gonna save this one till the end. So make sure you watch this video all the way to the end, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned because we're gonna get right on into it, all right? The very first thing that you need to know before deciding to quit your job is your why. This is a golden age. Anybody who's ever quit their job has literally said the same thing day in and day out, but it's for a reason. The how is going to change 50 million times, and because of that, you may lose track, you may lose focus. But if you remember your why, you have a focal point to turn back to. You have a guiding point to turn back to. You have a driving force to turn back to. It's sort of like a parent and their children. They remember their children. They can only go but so far. They can only stray but so far, but they have that strong core why to turn back to keep them focused. That why for you is going to make sure when you leave your job, you're ready and you're no BS and you're putting you're putting your feet to the pavement and you're getting that work done. Because if you have that why, you'll be able to recenter yourself and reposition yourself when you get distracted. Not only that, it'll help you not want to give in so easy. If you have a why, if you have a clear identification of your why, you won't be so vulnerable to go back to a comfort zone. You won't be so quick to deviate from the plan. You know, that why is going to position you with the tenacity and the focus to go after your dreams, because entrepreneurship is solely you. Okay, it's you going after your dreams. So you need that why in place to keep you focused and keep you grounded. Number 2, know who you are. This sounds very vague and it sounds like it doesn't really have to do with entrepreneurship, but it'll save you a crap ton when your plans aren't working and you feel like, you feel pressured because you see other people in the world doing something similar to what you want to do and you try to mimic or copy their style. When you know who you are, you unapologetically put yourself out there, you put your brand out there in a way that appeases and makes you happy. And then you'll attract the audience, the customers, the clientele that relates to you. We are literally conditioned by so many people in our lives before who we are and what we want for ourselves, before it makes any impact on ourselves. Knowing who you are is a big part of the journey. And if you're not really sure of who you are yet, if you still have questions, if you're still searching, that's okay. But that is likely an indication that you're not ready for entrepreneurship. Take some time in your job to learn from the people around you. And admire the heroes, you know? Learn from the slackers. See what you aren't supposed to do. Learn from your job, because if you got a job, if you went through something, there's something in that industry that you can learn and apply to your business. You're not just there to get a paycheck. Learn who you want to be, develop who you want to be, practice who you want to be, because once it's your business, you're solely liable. In jobs, you have some leeway, you have some room. You're not just there to get a paycheck. You're not just here to pay bills. Every single day you have the opportunity to learn. And if you're still trying to figure out who you are, and you have a job, you have test subjects in front of you every single day to see what type of personality traits you like and don't like. And you can pick and choose and apply them to your being as you so wish, and mold yourself in the way that you wish for people to receive you. And that will pour into your business, and your business will be solid. But you have to know who you are. If you don't know who you are, somebody's going to come around and make you question everything you're doing, and then you're going to change your structure. You're going to change your plan. You're going to start doubting yourself. You're going to do self-destructive work. And entrepreneurs don't need to go against themselves, okay? And that's leading us right into point number 3. Build your belief in yourself. I think I talked about this in my video when I talked about how I quit my corporate job. Before I quit my job, I made sure I took the time to work on my craft, to make sure I believed in myself, to make sure I was doing the right thing, because I couldn't rely on somebody else telling me I was capable of doing it. I needed to know for myself that I was capable of doing it, because there's so many days where just the journey itself is going to beat you up. Entrepreneurship is literally like a roller coaster. I know you guys see the memes. I know you guys see all the little images on Instagram. It's like this and it's like this, and it's literally like that, but that's within a day. You know, it's not like one day like this, one day like that. No, in the morning you get a good call, by the afternoon you jack some shit up. You know, entrepreneur life is really all over the place. So you have to build that belief in yourself. This is very important because the opposite of belief is doubt. And doubt and belief can't live in the same place. So you have to believe in yourself. Otherwise, you're going to doubt your steps you're taking. You're going to prolong your journey, and you're just going to get beside yourself. And then that's going to bring an energy that's going to make you feel like you're slacking. And it's just going to become a cycle of downward energy. Don't invite doubt into the mix. Believe in yourself so much so that even on your off days, you remember who you are and you know what you're capable of, and you don't let the doubt stick in your brain in such a way that it just stops your trajectory, you know? And also, just like kind of talking about knowing what you want, entrepreneurship is you putting yourself on the package, putting yourself on display, putting your perspectives of whatever industry you're entering out to the world so they can grab onto it. If you doubt yourself, if you don't have the confidence, why do you think people are going to want to shop your product? Why do you think people are going to acquire your services? Confidence is very, 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 very necessary in entrepreneurship. And if you don't believe in yourself, spend some time perfecting your craft. Spend some time watching YouTube videos that teach you about your craft. Spend some time reading some books. Spend some time making sure that you're at least comfortable with what it is you're trying to put out in the world, because you don't want to practice while you're trying to build after you left a job. That's just a recipe for disaster. You know, if you come out of a job with the frame of mind that I've practiced, I know I'm capable of this, I know I still have work to do, but I know I'm capable of this. I know every single day I'm going to get better because I've got the basics down. I got the bare minimum down. You know, if you start off like that, you'll go way further than trying to put work on top of work, you know? Point number 4. It takes time and money, okay? If you already have a job and you're thinking about quitting your job to get another job while pursuing your entrepreneurship, just think about that. The last thing you should do right after leaving your job is get another job. In between the time of leaving your job, you need to give yourself time to pour out your ideas, your creativity. Get rid of the stress and the mindset that was corporate, structured, in a box, restricted. Give yourself time to get rid of that mindset. Give yourself time to get adjusted to an entrepreneurship life. Give yourself time to get the blueprint down. Give yourself a little bit of time, you know? So that means make sure you have a savings account. That means make sure before you leave that job, you're not putting yourself in a position where you're stressed out about money, because money in America is freaking everything, right? So give yourself a cushion, a wealthy cushion, at least a couple, I would say a month, maybe 2, to just like get yourself acclimated with being an entrepreneur. Get your entrepreneurial process down packed, and then think about maybe having a job, maybe having a part-time job. But you need that time to transition. You need that time to pour in. When I left my job, this is a mistake I made, and I'm telling you guys from experience. When I left my corporate job, and I still had a little bit of doubt in myself. I'm literally telling you guys all this stuff because I watched myself, kind of like an out-of-body experience. Like, why the hell did you leave your job if you were going to just look for another job, you know? Just to kind of have some safety in my back pocket. But that's me doubting myself. That's me saying, just in case you don't make it, be able to pay your bills. I have way too many ideas, and trying to get acclimated to that new job, and it just put a damp in my plans. It put a damp in my trajectory, and it wasn't something that made me happy, because while I'm at work, I have these ideas flowing, and it's like a baby, you know? After I think I said a family in the earlier example, but this too, after you have a baby, most parents have, or most moms have, at least 2 months to pour into the baby, to grow the baby, to build its bones, and to build its foundation, and make sure it's healthy and strong. You know, you gotta put that time into your business. Yes, you do need money, so before you leave your job, make sure you have that savings. Make sure you're not stressed out. Account for your rent, account for your car, account for gas, account for groceries, account for any pets or children you may have, and make sure you have a little bit of cushion extra, because your business may need you to buy flyers. It may need you to take some photos. It may cost something. So make sure you have some money. But don't worry, I told you guys I have a really good tip for you. So tip number 7 will give you a little bit of an idea or a suggestion on how you can have a little bit more money, but not yet. Tip number 5, entrepreneurship is a lonely process. Unless you're building a partnership, or you know, you have a significant other that you guys are going into business with, you really are on this journey alone. You're growing your idea in your head to life. My suggestion would be not to hire people right away as you're in the inception stages, because you are then allowing them to put their zhuzh on your idea, you know? And at that point, that's a partnership, or that's a company, or that's an organization. You all are working together to manifest an idea. This isn't to come off as selfish or, you know, anything like that, but you need to solidify your idea. Again, entrepreneurship is you packaging your perspective on an industry or on an idea and putting it out into the world. So think about it. If you really want to be an entrepreneur, or if you want to be an organization, a collective of people with ideas together and building a brand. Now, hiring out and acquiring services from a freelancer, those are two different things. If you say, for instance, I needed to record my intro, so I hired a videographer, and in that process, he kind of gave me his input, but it was still my vision. He suggested we move things here. He suggested the lighting would look better here. He put his expertise on what my vision was, and that's a different story. But hiring somebody to come in and blueprint this idea for me, and then finding a photographer, and then, you know, that's no longer my idea, or that's no longer my brand. That's my idea siphoned through somebody else's perspective, you know? Not only that, the more time you put in your business, the more results. That means a higher trajectory. So now we're getting to the juicy part of it, the good part, the money part. Tip number 6. That would be double check your vesting period and all other retirement plan details. Some companies, you may be thinking about leaving your job and you're like, I have $3,500 in my 401k, but your company doesn't vest for 2 years and you've only been at that company for 1 year and 8 months. My suggestion to you would be work those 4 more months, because if you're not vested in the company, whatever percent that they contributed, they're going to take that back, because you did not work for them long enough to deserve or earn that money. Okay, so make sure you check those things. Make sure you check and see if you have any dividends or anything that's payable to you. Some companies offer stocks. Make sure you cash out on those before you leave. All of that stuff is payable to you. Yes, there may be penalties. Yes, there may be fines. And yes, companies may have policies and boundaries in place to where you can't get it under a certain time plan, but that's why you should check it out and have that well before you think about leaving. That's something you should do at least 6 months before you plan on leaving. You want to give yourself time before you quit your job. You don't want to say, oh, I want to quit, and then tomorrow you put in your notice. Give yourself time, let it resonate, and make sure you're doing your due diligence within your company and making sure you cash out and earn all the income, cash out on all the income you earned while you were working there. You should have a savings account aside from any 401 or retirement money that you are banking on. But in the meantime, if you have the option to do this is just another added note to put in there. Take that 401 income, see if your company's bank where your retirement plan is housed at has an option for where that they can transfer you to a traditional or a Roth IRA. Once you leave your company, of course, your 401k will be closed, so you'll have to put your money somewhere else. Most banks have an option within their company or organization. But I chose to take it away from the bank that my company had it in, and I put it in my a high interest bearing account, so that it can earn like residual passive income while I have my savings account in my actual regular bank account that I can use at a moment's notice should I need it. And another thing to note is if you're going to cash out on your retirement plan, some banks may take at least like a month before they get it to you. There's also penalties for being under, I think it's 55. And of course there's taxes, but you can opt to pay those taxes at the end of the year. If you're in entrepreneurship, that's kind of an ideal thing to do, because you can pay the taxes at the end of the year, get a pre-tax payout, and then, you know, when you file your taxes at the end of the year, of course you have time to pay those off, but you do have to remember that you will owe those at the end of the year. But those are options that you can do with your 401k, and definitely worth looking at because you're gonna need the money. Last but not least, I told y'all that y'all are gonna need the money, and I told y'all that I would help y'all try to think of ways to save money or get more money before you leave. If you know you wanna quit your job and your job offers vacation pay, 6 months, 3 months, 4 months, however many months before you decide to quit your job, stop using your vacation. You don't get paid out on your sick leave. You don't get paid out on your holiday pay. When you decide in your mind that you're going to leave your job, there's often going to be times where you need to call out of work, or you need to do other things geared towards your entrepreneurship business, that you're going to miss days at work. Don't use vacation days. Use those sick days. Use the days that they're not going to pay you for anyway, so that when you leave that job, you can cash out on as much vacation time as possible. It will get taxed, and you know it's going to be like a regular paycheck, but that's an added 2 weeks worth of pay that, you know, can go in your pocket. So these are the things that I did and didn't know before leaving my job. I kind of learned the hard way. I think I said it. I definitely know I said this. I think I said it like twice after I watched the video. I left my job in November. I didn't leave till March. So that's like a good 5 months where I was able to build my vacation hours, where I was able to work with HR to make sure I got all the money possible. So there's things that you can do to make sure that you secure yourself, so that when you leave your job, you have the good 2 months to nurture your baby, build its bones, get it to a solid place, hire the people that you need to hire after you've built it to your liking, and then have a successful business. And should you need to go find a part-time job, then you'll have the clear mind, you'll have the team, and you'll have the stability to where you can turn your eye for a second and your business isn't like, you know, going under. So I hope these tips really worked for you. If you have it in your gut, if you have it in your soul, if your heart's desire is to be an entrepreneur and you're just tired and fed up of that job, and you can save money and you can give yourself that time, take the time. Build your business right. Build your business to your liking, and build yourself up in the process. Okay, you guys? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this, comment below. Tell me, out of the 7 tips, what was your favorite? Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell button so you can get some notifications on when I post, because I'm new. So of course my SEO isn't going to be up. They're not going to promote my videos like that. So just to make sure you guys stay tuned, hit that bell. Okay? And until next time.